What's up, everybody? Today I'm doing the repot of this tree. Better hurry up before the sun goes down. And this tree already has some other, I think 2 or 3 videos. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. This was a completely bush that I pruned and installed for the first time. And later in the winter I did some choosing of branches and remove the wire. As you can see, in some places the wire bite in and it has some wire scars on the branch, but it's okay. It's still a very young tree in development and it's still in this container, so we're gonna take it out. And I have this one with me today, so we can cut through the roots probably a little bit more faster. And I'll be putting it in this beautiful container. I think it's Chinese. Yeah, it's a Chinese pot, very nice. It will be, let's see how the deadwood part is inside. So let's first get the tree out of this container. So it's very root bound, so probably it's already here quite a long time. But first of all, before we start at the bottom, show you the tools I will use. This, of course, is a wire cutter for later on to prepare the pot. Some little broom that we can take out the excess soil. And for this kind of material I also use a hook to get through the roots, like this one and also like this one. And of course a scissor to prune some of the roots, and a chopstick for later on to chopstick the soil and also to remove a part of it. But let's start first with the hook. So we're gonna start always on the top part. We're gonna remove and see where the base of this tree starts. I want to do this fast before the sun goes down, because maybe I can do another repot, but it will be difficult, I think, today. So this is, I try to let it dry for a while, but it's still quite wet soil, but it's okay because you don't want to be completely dry. And of course you have to take into account where the front of the tree will be, which is kind of here somewhere. So we have this branch here, but we might also choose this as the front. This also has a nice base to it, a little bit more three-dimensional, so who knows. But first let's get through this job. And it's completely root bound. I did the first styling last summer, last year. So the tree already has recovered, and as now we give you a close up. This is the perfect timing as the buds are really swelling, as you can see here. So you want to do the repot of a Taxus before this starts to pop out. And don't use gloves, your bare hands. You can feel the soil, feel the tree. You can wash your hands later. And where I have to be more delicate, I can come back with the chopstick, because you don't want to damage the part close by the tree, the trunk part. And and I hope this dead wood is connected to the tree so that we can keep this as a feature. And this tree, I got it from my friend Leo from the Bonsai Club. Rest in peace, Leo. And he was a really fan of Taxus, and the Taxus that he made was really nice trees, and I always got inspired by his trees. And it's also nowadays one of my, besides juniper, is one of my favorite species. So if you haven't worked with a Taxus before, go get one. It's a very nice tree. You have of course different species. If you know which one this is, let me know in the comment. I think this is like a European Taxus. If you know exactly, put on the comments. Let me know which one of the species is your favorite as well. I'm curious to know. So now we are getting we're almost there. This will be a long video. I want to try something different, a little bit more longer content, more slow pace. You can sit back and relax, coming back from work. Huh? If you like drinking alcohol, have a nice beer with this. And take your time, of course. Never do this in a rush. I'm just rushing because of the lighting. I don't want to have a too dark video. This is gonna be a very difficult job because who knows how long this tree is in this container. It's like concrete, and the roots from Taxus is very fleshy, like this. Very thick, different from other species and like a pine and a juniper. So you have to be a little bit more careful because it breaks a lot easier. But I need to use a little bit of force because the tree is so compact that it's almost impossible to get through it. This is a great opportunity to remove all the weeds that were growing in the tree. So as you can see, I continue going down on this top part because I want goal is to have this connected to this, and I hope this is the case. As I can see here, I think it's some kind of fusion, and we have a much larger base on this side of the tree. So continue down, and I want to clean this up before I come up with my secret weapon, my axe, and chop the tree. We're getting there bit by bit. And if somebody asks you why bonsai is expensive, now this is one of the reasons. It's very difficult and time consuming, but also very relaxing and great to practice. But if you want to already buy a bonsai that is in a very late stage, so already in a bonsai pot that has been training for years, So that's why some of trees are actually priceless, because it has been worked for many years, maybe by different hands, and has survived a lot of difficult operations like this one. So if you have a bonsai that's older than 10 years old in a pot, that tree is, and it's in the right way been taken care of. That's why those kinds of trees are very, very expensive, and actually you can sometimes not even put a price in some trees, because all the effort and time and love that you put into it. But once you have to see and you have to enjoy the process. So bonsai is not only about having the tree, and of course you can choose to that. Some people like only having one tree and going to expositions and watching other people do bonsai. That's also very nice. But for me, I really enjoy the process of making it and designing it and creating that vision, that image that you have in your head of turning into reality. And it's an art form that you don't do alone. Like I said, sometimes a tree is worked by many other people, many other that has been before you, but also you have to work with the tree. Yeah? Sometimes you want the tree to grow a certain way, but the tree grows to another way, so you have to also kind of talk with the tree, so to speak, and it's really maximizing what the tree has to offer. And some trees just have more to offer than others. They are trees in nature that are more than 300 to 400 years old, who have been through a lot, has this great character into it. Those kind of trees has a lot to offer, or at least some different aspects to offer than a tree that you grow, for example, by seed, or a tree that you get from a young tree that you get from a nursery stock. Both are fun to do, but you have also to meet the expectations and not force the tree being something that it could never be. It seems that that part is connected to the main trunk, but I'm not 100% sure until we really get into it. Alright, before it gets dark, I want to use my axe to cut through the bottom part, because I'm not getting through at all. So I will try to cut as high as possible, because I think we already reached like the top part. We'll give you a close up. You can see here, it seems that they are connected on the both part, and I have this beautiful base. I have this weird root going here to the front. That's not nice, but we'll see how we will work with that. And on this part over here, I went a little bit lower, and it has a very much nicer base, which is like this. So I think we chose the right front, which is more or less here, because this has a beautiful flare to it, very nice, and goes up. For this part, it's actually working very well. I'm getting through it quite easily. So this actually worked quite nice. As you can see, we really worked the tree without disturbing too much. Like a piece of cake. We clean this up a little. So now we can continue. I will just continue outside. It's a beautiful night, and I will continue now with the chopstick, and we can take our pot and see if it will fit or not. I'm quite sure it's a little bit too thick, so we still have a lot of work to do. I think I'm too ambitious with this pot. Doesn't seem that it will fit, and I don't want to remove too much because it can compromise the health of the tree. Let's see if I have this one a little bit better. Also this one, it's a little bit, this one, it's a little bit too big. Yeah, I think I'll go for this one, because this is also a little bit too small, and the other one was a bit too big. I think this one can work. Now we can come back with the chopstick. Chopstick just a little bit. Chopstick for the detail work. Did not have this in mind for this tree, this pot, but it's actually quite a beautiful marriage, because the tree has this kind of a dome round shape, and the round container really brings that out. Not sure if this is in the frame. So yeah, sometimes things go differently than you planned, because this Taxus has very fine roots, so I don't to be messing around. I want this to stay like solid, like as it is. I didn't expect that this tree has such a beautiful root base in the body. It was buried, I don't know if you can remember, it was buried until this part, so we couldn't see. You can see here the mark of the dirt on the dead part here, so it was until here. So it really has this beautiful flair to this part. So, and this is what I mean, that you have to work with the tree. So I can force the tree in the container that I had in mind, but that's not what the tree wants at this stage. So we have to respect that and work with the tree. So what I'm doing right now is the final part in working the tree, the roots. I'm just doing a little bit, very careful on the sides to loosen up a little bit the side part, so that the roots grow in the right direction once I place them inside the container. And also to see if we have like a root like this who isn't contributing to the system, and it's very thick. So now it's the time to remove it. So very gently now. We already did the hard part with the axe and the saw, and now with the chopstick just going to loosen up a little bit, and like in a root like this we can just cut it off because it's not contributing at all. So we want to keep the fine roots, and everything that's loose we can take off. Now that we're getting into the finer roots, we need to keep those well hydrated, so giving a good spray. Now I'm gonna see how the tree will fit in the pot. And then you can now play around which side of the pot is nice to put the tree in, which will be the front of the pot. This is a pot that I bought at the trophy from a Dutch maker here in the Netherlands. Very nice pot with a lot of details. There's a lot of little holes to secure the tree, and that's what we want to see. And it has also 5 legs, so we can either place one in the middle on the front, or kind of leave a space in between. think I want to be the hole in the middle bigger, because then we have the container will seem a little bit smaller than it actually is. So I like this kind of details. The other side, this is also a nice side because it has this part here that is light red and goes into a more darker brown color. And this has more like the stripes. I think I like this part the most, so I will go with this one. To fit more or less like this. So I will mark where I want the front to be. This is important so that during the repot you don't get confused where to place the tree. So like I said, this is the nicest part over here. So when I want the tree to sit more or less on this part as the front, in between these two legs. So I have here 3 pieces of galvanized steel wire, and this is what I will be using. Okay, now that I have the wires in place, I'm gonna with the soil. Another tree that needs a repot. So, and then I put a mix of akadama, pumice, and a little bit lava, and take into account where the front is. And I know that we have a slight elevation, so I'll make like a little mountain of soil on this part. Like this. And then I want to do it a little bit like this. Put the wire, I want to put the wires together so that I can go through the root. I'm getting something on this side. Try again in another. So now that we got all the 3 wires through the tree, I'm gonna be settling, pushing the tree the way I want it to get in the pot, and the way I will fixate the tree. The tree is already quite it will not fall by itself. It's already very strong inside the pot. So I will place this chopsticks inside the root ball so that I have a downward movement, and then we can fixate the tree like this in three points. Cut already the excess wire. And make sure you get the sticks, the chopsticks, very strong inside the root ball so that you have enough force to pull straight down. And before I tie the tree in, I want to put more soil and adjust a little bit, because otherwise, if the tree is already tied down and you have to change the angle or something, it will not be possible. So now we're going to take our chopstick again, and we want to fill all the air pockets. And this tree doesn't have a lot of air pockets. We just need to make sure that the soil goes underneath the part that is going slightly to the left. And with one hand you want to push the soil, and with the chopstick you make kind of a room. Alright, now that I put a lot of soil around the root base, we can now check again our front. The mark is a little bit getting off, but it's okay. And if you're happy with it, which I am, and we have this beautiful turn around again. So here we have our front. This goes slightly to this part, and once I pull on this tree to fixate it completely, it will get a little bit more angle, and then we can finalize the soil and finish up the chopstick and give it a good water. And so what I do is I pull and turn. Now I can finish completing the soil. Then you have to work all the way around so that there is no air pockets inside the pot. And your left hand is pushing the soil, and the chopstick is making some room. And if the chopstick can't get through it, then you have done enough. Then you can continue the work around the pot. So I'm all the way around. So what I want to do now is to finish up, to clean a little bit with the roots that are sticking out like this. I'm gonna take a little bit of the excess soil. So So that's it for today. I hope you like this video. But the memory was full yesterday, so it cut off a little bit. So I finished it off with placing some moss on the top, and I watered it truly. Today is raining, and you can see the final result. I'm really happy with it. And good luck to you repotting your trees this spring. And I see you next time in Bonsai Den Haag.